What's going on? What's going on? We are back. Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. Feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies in the house. Get your grown damn sexy on. Welcome back in the chat room. Do me a favor. Age, city, gender. Get them up, Big Shirley. Welcome back to your place for a grown, damn, sexy conversation. Nobody else, no place else does it quite like we do. Business, brains, brands. Business, brains, bombs. Business, brains, and bombs. Bit feminine friendly. Bottom line is if you are a intelligent, educated, smart professional, this is the place you want to be. Whether you're in college and on your way, whether you're just out getting started, whether you're climbing the ladder, whether you're in your groove, this is the place where grown damn conversations happen. That's why we do what we do. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Time to take it to the next level. That's what we're doing. Keeping it fun, keeping it interactive. But we're taking it to the next level. Join us. Join us. Get with us. Do it with us. Bobbity bop. We are back. Shout out to the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. The CIA. One love to the feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies in the house. The FBI. We are back in the house. And the house is definitely packed. Folks, as you heard me say, 2022, self-awareness is sexy. Welcome to the destination, the channel for grown damn conversation. We're going to have fun. We're going to do the damn thing. But this is where we build business, brands, bonds with brains. Why am I focusing on that? I need you guys to understand something. This is a men's channel. But I want you to go back to the old school days, old school GQ magazine, old school Esquire magazine, or old school Playboy. If you can find it in those places, you can find it on this channel. Because I said it before and I said it again, at the end of the day, we are better together. This is the place for white collar, blue collar, men who are on their grind, who came from whatever you came from, and you want to be in the top 20% of men. Top 20% of men are who I'm targeting. I stand strong with the men across the board, though. You have never heard me shit on the average guy, and I never will, but our target market is what it is. And why is this important? Because we are at the age of separation. Between the age of 18 and 29, you were in process. But at age 30 is when high value becomes a real opportunity, and is when it's time to start making decisions. It's time to start making decisions. I'm getting right into the content. So do me a favor, hit that like button, candle of the evening, Laurier 62, fragrance of the day. We started off with the Tom Ford Oud Wood, the OG classic. And then we ended it, of course, with one of the sexiest fragrances on the planet, Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. There is no mistaking the Tom Ford Tuscan Leather for a high schooler's fragrance. Tom Ford Tuscan Leather is a fragrance for men who know how to get shit done. Okay? Why is that important? Because it is time to start moving the conversation forward. I don't care where you're at. I'm talking about where do you want to be in the next 10 years? It starts today. And whether or not you're going to stay on the corporate track or you're going to go entrepreneurial, life is about people and networks. If you want to be a lone rebel, got it too. Which of the three are you? What is your masculine archetype? I'm refined. I'm in the refined archetype. Then there is the rogue archetype and the rake archetype. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Young men, you're probably an esquire. You're probably a rogue, a young nobleman in training, being prepared. My young esquires out there. If you are under 30, I dub you an esquire. You're in practice. Now, at 30, you can choose to go on into knighthood, into politics, whatever. At the next level, you get into what I consider to be the path splits. You can go down the GQ path of being refined, used to describe a guy who's dressed nicely, very sleek, very sexy to the ladies, gets things done. I am very much a GQ kind of guy. I am at home in pinstripes and boardrooms. That is my shit. That is my shit. But it's not everybody's stuff. And where is the next level? Well, you still got room for the playboys. The playboys are the rakes. The playboys are the guys who are a little bit more swagger. And here's the thing. A playboy deals with a man who is stereotypically wealthy, but we're going to remove the wealth component out of it. He has a wealth mindset who spends his time enjoying himself. A playboy is a hedonist. But we're going to take the irresponsible things away from playboys. We're talking about men who are independent investors, angel investors, straight up sugar daddies, or either one of us can be sugar daddies. See, we're going to start taking it to a whole nother conversation, because one of the things that kind of gets mistaken is when you're in process, when you're a young esquire, this is when you're getting your skills together. You're getting your resume together. Then you need to make sure you're focusing on getting your EQ together, your social skills, your game. Because at 30, game on. Are you going to go refine or are you going to go rake? Because you have to move to the next level. And one of the things that is not happening with guys today is guys are not moving into manhood. We're staying in adolescence. Why? Because it's cool to be young. It's a youth culture, but now we got to make it cool to be a damn man. Why is this important? Because in my opinion, one of the biggest issues today is women are fighting high value men. They want high value men for the lifestyle they provide, but they're fighting them. Why are they fighting them? Because they aren't working for them. I asked this question on Instagram. Ladies, would you be willing to, Ladies, would you be willing to quit your full-time job? Would you be willing to quit your full-time job to go work part-time for your man? Quit your full-time job to go work part-time for your man. And then from there, likely get promoted to wife. And overwhelmingly, women who had a vision for a future were saying, hell yeah, 8 to 5 for a job I don't like. I would much rather work 8 to 12 for my man, or 1 to 5 for my man. Why is this important? Because so many women today can't can't grow up. So many women today are stuck. Just like guys need to continue to develop, so many women today are still stuck in this strong, independent, I need to be secure, da da da. So I got some questions to ask you, ladies. I got some questions to ask you, averagers. Okay? When is it time for you ladies to pick? Ladies in the chat room, at what age do you think it is time to get off of the ride? Meaning, when I'm age 25, I think I pick the best man I have at that time and I exit. It's like you're in the husband store. At what age or what time do you pick? The problem today is social media and the smartphone has overwhelmed women. You are staying in the game too long and you think you have options that you don't have. It is in your nature to hold out for the better option, but until what age? Ladies, in the chat room, at what age do you think it's time for you to pick? Gentlemen, at what age do you think a woman should pick? That's one question. That is one question. Why is this important? Why is this important? Because many of you ladies, especially in our community, sitting around talking about, I don't have to pick. I still look good. Black don't crack. Yeah, that may be your physical, but I need to ask you, how old does your soul or your spirit look? Oh shit. Many of y'all running around talking about black don't crack, and you 32, you're 35 years old, but your soul, your spirit, your inner girl is every bit of 70. You're tough to be around. There's nothing light about you. There's nothing fun. And why is all this? I made the point on Monday, and we're going to talk about it today. Modern women are in abusive, toxic relationships with these so-called careers. We're going to call it toxic. Modern women are in toxic relationships, and the relationship is with that job. Come on now. Your godfather's going to preach, ladies. We're going to talk about it today because I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to get you ladies to understand where you're at. Somebody told you to go to school to get your...
I'm a PhD. I don't need a cookbook.
And not worry about it all and then get out here and go work and go become a career Sex and the City girl. And now, over age 35, you are exhausted. It is Friday night, and so many women are hearing what I'm saying. They're like, it's 2022, and I've just put in the second week. It is 2 weeks into 2022, and ain't nothing changed. You back in that, you ran back to your top, you ran back to your ex. I'm sorry, who's your ex? Your job? They ran back to they ran back to the bad boy. We're gonna talk about it. If modern women are in toxic relationships, it's with a career. And they know it's true, yet they keep running back. Why are you ladies continuing to run back to these toxic relationships called a career? The next one I put up. Modern women traded in men to become career pet moms. Y'all traded y'all's whole life with men and family to become career pet moms, career girls and pet moms. And the funny thing is, 74% of the women in our community are making less than $50,000. You know how many women I know who are in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loan debt? And they will never pay it off in their lifetime. They know this. Yet they're still moving like single women and wasting time. They are more invested in their jobs because they are terrified. They're stuck and they can see it. They're like, And here it is. Here's the beacon, the flashing light. The only way out is you got to get a man. You got to quit your job and go work for your high value man. Let's get back on task. I don't care why you are where you are, ladies. We don't want to talk about white supremacy, racism, Jim Crow, feminism, who shot John. 2022, we don't care how you got where you are. We care on what you're doing to get out of it. Meaning, no more conversation justifying why you are in a toxic relationship with a job. Do you know how many women hate their jobs? And I had a job back in the day that started my panic attacks and my stress and my depression. I would wake up every day at 6:17, and just like on cue, soon as I became conscious, the stress jumped on me. I could feel the physiological change soon as I kind of woke up. I hated my job. I hated everything. And it was just, it was the darkest period in my life. When you hate what you do, everything else. Now, there are glimmers of light and hope, but the thing is, these ladies gotta go do the job because they don't know how to do relationship. When I asked these ladies, would you quit your full time to go work part time for a man? They said yes, but the problem is they don't have a man to quit and go work with. All they know how to be is fun girls. They don't know how to be wives. And that's what you ladies need to fix and figure out because the only way off this ride is to quit fighting high value men because high value men are the men who possess the capability of retiring you. Unfortunately, average men can't do this. Average men can't do this as easily as high value men. And what I mean, with all due respect to my average brothers, average men, if you're making $50,000 a year for whatever your choices are, you got to be able to pay a woman at least $30,000 a year, at least $15 an hour, at least $15,000 an hour, and $15 an hour. And where you gonna get that? The money you got to pay her. Average men are not as capable or as willing or have the ability to want to take on a woman as an employee. So, ladies, here's what I'm telling you that 20% of men that you want are your only hope. They are the men that possess the ability, the skill sets, and it is up to you. Look, I I'm going to tell you something. Black women in particular, I want to see you win. And I put pressure on us men to understand how we did not get our masculinity training and we've been doing our work, okay? But now it's time for you ladies to understand you're going to have to bet on us like you want us to bet on you. I talked to several men this week. I don't just get on here and talk shit. I have men I call around the world and I ask, what do you think about this concept? Level set me. Shout out to brother Dennis Spurley. Dennis, I'm not gonna get. Well, I don't want to tell people's business, but I'm gonna tell you, high value men retire their women or make them come work for them. So, ladies, what is it going to take for you to free yourself? Because you and I both know you're dying at these jobs. You're in a toxic relationship and it's only getting worse. You don't want to be there. How many times do I get women on my show that they're working, they like what they do, their career is somewhat fulfilling, but as soon as they get married and I ask, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the first child? Almost 100% of women say no. Understand something. What the men are saying at this point is, then why the hell are you going to college, to these expensive schools, racking up all this student loan debt to do a job or a career that you want to quit when you get married and get pregnant? To men, we are looking at you, and you know how many men I know who have turned women down because they are economically unattractive. Ladies, hear me and hear me well. Your godfather needs to tell you the truth. Men are running credit reports, and men are looking at your student loan debt. You ladies, in order to make this work, you're going to have to quit and go work for your man part time, but you're going to have to find a way to retire or clear your student loan debt. That's a conversation between you and your man. But if you're going to quit and you're in 30, 50, 100, 200, 300, 500, 700, I know women who are in over $500,000 in debt. And they're making less than $100,000. That's why I talked about that thing out at USC. But you can't worry about step 3. You got to worry about step 1. Being what the high value man you needs from a woman. And this is where I expect us as men to be strict. Understand something. When a woman wants a job, shout out to Minister Jap. I heard him say something one day. So I'm going to build on something he said. He said that you need to think about, ladies. Well, I ask you ladies, at what time is it time to pick? And you got to pick your new leader. We are your leaders. Just like you pick a college to go to, think about what women are willing to do. Think about what women are willing to do. Women will go into debt to get an education, to become better for a job. They'll go into debt, study, do all this stuff to become better for a potential job. They're not guaranteed a job. They're guaranteed a industry. Then once they graduate, they have to get out in the marketplace and compete with other women for the jobs. Now, everyone knows the best companies to work for, and understand, most of these women are working for average companies. And they're not making the top bucks. They're making entry-level money. And here's the funny thing. They'll go to these interviews, they'll study, do work prep. They'll come in there in their nice Chanel business suits, sit down, present their resume. Hi, my name is blah, 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 blah. And they'll interview and sell themselves and tell you, if you hired me, Mr. Samuels or Mr. Johnson, I will be the best employee, blah, 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 blah. And men are like, why the fuck don't y'all do that for us? Being a wife is more important than a goddamn job. But y'all expect men y'all expect men to act like y'all act for a job. More on that later. This is why modern dating is so screwed up. You ladies act like men need to pursue you like a prize, and we're like, shit, we're saving your life. More on this. So think about it. They go to school. 4 years, they're getting debt, $100,000. Then they get out here and go to interview, and they got to interview, and not getting the first job. They got to interview, and then start out working. $40,000 a year. That woman talk about she's going to make $60,000, $70,000 with a communication degree. Baby girl, that's engineer salary. And think about it. They get these jobs, and what do? They move from wherever they are. They'll move to Dallas, Houston, Austin, New York City, LA, Seattle, and they'll live in some little small apartment on the nice side of town, usually on the gay side of town, because it tends to be safer because there are more men and blah, blah, blah. They'll get them a little crackerjack apartment in the nice side of town, get them a car to get them back and forth to work. and then get them a wardrobe, and then they'll go to work, and they will show up to work on time. And they will show up to work on time with a smile and work their ass off to make other people rich. And the people they're making rich have wives at home raising their kids. These women are wasting their prime years at a job that don't care about them. Fighting over scraps to possibly get promoted. You know how many women can't have social lives because they're afraid of their job? Come visit, come do this, come do that. Oh, I can't quit. I can't do that. I don't have any time off. And the guys are like, your job sounds like a controlling, abusive man. They're afraid of their jobs. That's why I say y'all in toxic, abusive relationships with your jobs. And then here come the man. Here come Mr. Valuable Man. Hey, I'm working 60 hours plus a week that I'm getting paid for. And I have the money or I have the desire to retire you from that. But here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to come work for me. How many of you ladies will be willing to leave the rat race to go work part-time? And one of the comments, the lady said, I'm not going to quit my job and leave my benefits or whatever. And I said, the first thing I heard it sound like Stephen on Django. If a woman ain't willing to quit, guys, say check, please, because she's not willing to follow you. She's not willing to pick you as her leader. She is not willing to be the supportive role. Ladies, you have to pick a man to lead you. And then you have to choose to follow him. Think of and make it simple. Treat your man like you treat these jobs and these colleges, and men will be just happy. I'm not dealing with a woman who I don't have any power over. Nope. And I wouldn't deal with a woman seriously who ain't working for me. That's a decision I had to make. And all the men that I know, my friends, all their girlfriends and their wives work for them. It is a critical component. And I think it is something that men of value should take on. And if you're going to have a woman, you need to employ her. You need to employ her. Because if you want the loyalty that she gives to an employer, you need to become her employer. And you need to pay her well. Because she's going to be working and delivering. She's not going to just be sitting there being cute. She's going to have some deliverables. She's got a job description. The 4 hours a day she's working for you, those are real work hours. The other 4 hours is her time, but she still got to keep it fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. But you freed her up. Ladies, I know this is new, but what else you got? You ain't gonna become vice president. You ain't gonna make $200,000 a year. You ain't gonna pay off your debt. You're gonna be stuck. That's why I have been asking ladies, what does life look like at 55? And most women are, what? Because if you're asking what life looks like at 40, they still feel like they got an opportunity. Life at 55, they know it's a wrap.
No, the hell he did not. Baby, this is a mess.
I know, Didi, it's a mess. Ask them what life look like at 55, and then it gets real quick. Because they know at 55, they ain't trying to date. They ain't trying to get out there and do none of this stuff. So, ladies, in order to be with a man of value, you need to be prepared to be as loyal to him as you are to your career. Because these men are not picking a woman for short term. The men I know have invested in their women, sent them back to school, paid off debt, whatever. You're going to be there for a lifetime. Because I need you ladies to understand, most of you, let's do this right now. Let's calculate how much of an investment a man would have to make in you. Just like where do you rank? What your beauty and your physicality has a certain sexual marketplace value. But let's ask, economic marketplace value do you have? How much money? I did this with the attorney and the realtor. And I said it. If you want a high value man and you want 2 or 3 kids, each one of your kids is $500,000. If you want 3 kids, that's $1.5 million in kids. If you make $75,000 a year at age 30, and the man's gonna retire you, he has to replace your income. 75,000. Let's make it 70 for simple math. That's $2.1 million worth of salary over a career that man has to replace. 3 kids, $1.5 million. That means to have you as a 30-year-old, $70,000, a 70-year-old, a 30-year-old woman making $70,000 who wants to become a housewife, that man is going to have to make $3.6 million just to replace your income and with the kids. Then he still has your upkeep. Every bit of a $5 million proposition. This is how men think. And that's why men are asking, what's the value of marriage? And you ladies are going to have to put your wife resume together. Let me tell you how you do this. Quit fighting high value men. Pick a man to lead you. Say, you know what? This is the best man I got. And you need to pick a man based on, shout out to PMP, Poor Man's Podcast. You need to pick a man based on his character, not on his looks. I tell women right now, I got a little dick, can't screw, and pick me if I'm broke and if I was impotent. Don't pick me on nothing physical. Don't pick me on nothing you like here. Pick me based upon my ability to do man shit. I need to stop picking what makes you tingle. You need to pick a man based on the fact, can he provide? And does he have a job? Does he have a job opening and a job description for you? And is the position funded? Seriously. In the black community, I'm gonna have a conversation with our family for a minute. Black people, we put far too much emphasis on sex. Sex and physicality. That is some stupid shit. I know more people who ain't in relationships today because the sex wasn't good. Dumb ass men and women. Stupid. Especially women. Women leaving productive men because of sex. You better go get a bullet, a rabbit, or your finger, do something. We have made sex and looks the important stuff and wonder why we at the bottom. Well, how about this? Why don't we pick each other based on job descriptions? How about that? How about you pick a man that can take you out of corporate America and make you his office manager? In exchange for that, he gets a loyal employee doing her job, and you get paid and you get retired. And everything y'all got, y'all working, y'all building together. Well, he's building, you're supporting. I talked about how women go to school, get an education, all this to become better for a job. I need to ask you ladies one question. What are you modern women doing tangibly to become better for a man? What are you doing to become better for a man? And the reality, I'm going to look over here. I need 1,000 likes. Get these likes up or I'm going to shut the chat room off in 30 seconds. Why is this important? Because men of value have leverage. Guys, I'm talking to the men. Guys, stop giving women so many outs. Stop judging a woman based on what she says and her intentions. Judge a woman based solely on her actions. Actions on what she does. Not what she could do, what she does. Because what she does tells the truth. I know a lot of women don't like it when I say this, but I'm going to keep saying it. Because this is what men judge based on. Our ego judges you on your actions. Our ego doesn't judge you on your intentions. You want us to judge you on our emotions and our heart. We are respecting ego. And we are men, and we're going to stop acting like new age men and judge you like the men we are. Fuck your love. You need to respect us more than you love us. And your actions need to feed our ego because we got to get out here and employ you. We got to get out here and employ you and keep the business and the business of you running. And this man has to look good and he needs to look good around his colleagues, his friends, and people he holds in esteem. And one of the biggest problems today is men are not with women that make them look good. More men today, average men today, are with women that make them look bad amongst the people whose opinion they care about. And what do women say? Well, you shouldn't be so weak and care about what other people think. No, Trisnich, you should be a better woman so you can make your man look better. Oh, y'all thought I was going to stay on the men, huh? High value men. High value men expect to employ their women. But ladies, you're going to have to perform. You're going to have to perform. You got a job description. So I need you ladies to do something. This weekend, I need you to sit down and ask yourself, what do I do as a career? What are my skill sets? And how can I use that to help a businessman start a business, run a business, make more money in a side business, whatever. White collar, blue collar. I'm going to help you guys out and come up with some careers or some skill sets that I think that map over well. But obviously, if you're something in accounting, sales, marketing, things like that, anything that can help with administrative, clerical, customer service, or client-facing stuff is going to be the easiest fit. The problem is so many women are in healthcare, nursing, things like that. So many of you are in healthcare, and that doesn't naturally map over. We'll figure it out. But like if a woman has, accountants are the best. Accountants are the best because they can do the books and they can do bookkeeping and pick up clients and assignments, all kind of shit. But ladies, understand something. Your man is your boss. And you need to treat your man like you treat your employee. Y'all wouldn't think about, you know how many women wouldn't think about calling out sick? Go to work sick, go to work hurt, stay at work late, working, doing shit. How many women I know are working and doing stuff that is not their job responsibility, but they're doing it because they're good people. And you know what? We as men are sitting back saying, God damn it, you need to be doing me that way. You know how many men I know are like, if she treated me like she treated that damn job she hates, we'd both be happy. Am I not saying it, guys? So you ladies need to stop and quit fighting high value men. Quit fighting high leverage in modern relationships. So guys are tuned in now. And for the men who are taking on the responsibility to come in the top 20% men, they expect and deserve a woman who's going to be a worthy wife. Let's get into it though. I'm a little bit behind. I want to open up the call line. Ladies, let's see where you rank. Your sexual marketplace value. Let's judge your economic attractiveness. Because you got to ask yourself, you may look good, you may smell good, but if you $300,000 in debt and you want 3 kids, you do realize you're talking about a man who's in the top 3% of earners, right? What kind of man can afford to pay for his life, take over replacing your income and paying your bills? If you automatically trying to get a man in the top 3%, ooh-wee. And this is why this is so important. Let me take 5 more minutes, guys. This is why this is so important. Women with beauty, brains, and business sense fall into this category. But y'all are dating like men need to court y'all. And this is why that Steve Harvey, men are from Venus, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, think like a man, act like a woman kind of thing is so bad. Because women who are in their mid-30s, the early to mid-30s, still think that they can date like they're in their early 20s. And men are looking at you and saying, now, wait a minute.
Danger zone.
You in the danger zone. You've been out of college. You'd have been to Jamaica, Greece, Cabo, London. You've done all this stuff. You got a BMW. You got a nice condo. You got all this debt. You got a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
You got an MBA or master's. All this. You don't just have 21-year-old, 22-year-old bachelor's debt. You got master's, MBA, PhD, Gucci, Valentino. I keep forgetting the way those shoes. Allah, what are the little balls on them? Anyway, all these cool ass shoes. You got this, you got that kind of debt. You got that kind of taste. Okay? All right. And then here come Brad Lee, Keith, Ahmed, and Enrique through here, Mr. High Value. And they sit across from you. And you're sitting back like, well, I would have no problem reciprocating. These men are looking at you like you do realize I got to take on millions of dollars worth of debt to deal with you, right? And y'all are playing pussy games. I'm sorry. Y'all are playing sex games, holding out. Y'all are playing text games and call games. And men are like, you better be on us like a dog on a bone. You better be on us like you would be on that job. You better be on us like you own that job that you want. Because think about it. If you've ever had a dream job, you ladies all know what it is to go after a dream job. If you've ever seen a woman go after what she wants, that's something special. When women want to pledge a certain sorority, or they want a certain position or certain accounts, women tap into their feminine and their creative, and they do shit that we as men are like, God damn. Women know how to get what they want. And men are like, you do realize that I'm a kind of man who is marriage-minded, relationship-minded, willing to take on a wife, but you're making me date you like I'm an average guy and you got leverage. Biznatch, I'm the prize. I'm the bank. I'm your boss. I know guys in the chat room are just doing high fives and backflips. We need to get these super chats up too, man. Come on now. Get these super chats up. We're a bit behind. I'm going to open a call line, bring in the women with business, brains, beauty, and it's about bonds. I'm with you, ladies. I have talked to thousands of men who want wives to work for them. I don't just bring you stuff that stick my finger in the air. Before I bring something to you, I do research. We are missing business class marriages, especially in the Black community. We're missing Cliff and Claire Huxtable. That's what we're missing. Cliff and Claire Huxtable at this time, she's living in New York, he's living in Atlanta. She's in Chicago, he's in Dallas. We are separated, living our own lives. Fuck that. You got to come work for him. But you ladies are going to have to put your ego up and make yourselves. This is where you ladies got to start getting aggressive and assertive in your femininity and start going after the job you want. You got to convince a man to hire you. If you were to bring me on to AT&T, I swear to God, I'm telling you, I know women who've gone after high-level positions or positions where they know there's only one slot and seen people going to interview 6 or 7 levels deep. The women I'm talking about understand that you're not just filling out an application and going on one interview. They understand this process. Oh, Lord have mercy. Aliyah. Did I tell you guys I'm trying to pick up a foreign language this year? That's one of the biggest holes in my game. I only speak one language. I'm actually gonna be trying to learn Spanish this year. So more on that later. I thought I wanted to learn Mandarin, but Spanish will probably be more practical. But anyway, understand something. The end goal is this. Let me use my Thanos glove. I want you to Thanos snap legs. And I'm going to use like Brother Spurley. Brother Spurley met his fiance in my mixed group, and she was doing her thing, Ivy League educated, beautiful sister. He's a successful attorney. Now he's like, shh, That's my wife. I'm gonna put her through law school. She's gonna become an attorney at my practice. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I want to call you back to the sister that called into my show who said when I first listened to you, I didn't like you. I was making $12,000 a month. I quit my job making $12,000 a month and became my boyfriend's office manager at his trucking company. And now he's making more money. She's working less and she's married. On the way to be married. Because I'm going to tell you, ladies, this may sound like a Dulo twist. Shout out, Kwame. May sound like a Dulo twist to you, but understand something.
He wrong for that, baby.
It may sound like a twist to you, but I need you to understand. Think about it. That's a little loud, Dee Dee.
He wrong for that, baby.
I need you to think about this. The man I'm talking about has to go out and come up with $30,000 minimum to hire you. $30,000 minimum. He's on the hook for a salary. So you ain't, well, what if I do that and then it don't work? He's out of his salary. But if he's got to put up a salary, that means he has to go have the money, go make the money, but he's invested. He has sunken costs. And this is what men are trying to get you ladies to understand. Dating you, we have to invest in everything we invest in you. If we don't get a return, it's called sunken cost. Let me look this up. I know this is long, guys. I've been out for a while, but I'm really teaching. This ain't just some salacious stuff. Sunken cost. Sunken cost. Sunken cost in economics or finance is the cost already incurred that cannot be recovered. Dating for men is sunken cost. Take you out to Ruth Chris, sunken cost. Anything a man does for a woman financially is sunken cost. Time on the phone, sunken cost. Got to come visit you because you live in another place, sunken cost. This is why men are always looking for confirmation that they are going to get a return on their investment because they have sunken cost. This is why men hate games that women play with, sex and all those other kind of things, because it's like y'all just want him to pay more, sink more cost in. Now what we're doing is we are going up front with a cost. A cost over here, part-time employment has to be paid for. Put in an escrow account or whatever. Boom. But he's going to get work from it. So the cost is balanced. You get to leave that hella career you hate, but you have to adjust your lifestyle to live on less money than your salary. And I only think you should do this for about 6 months, honestly. I only think you should do this for about 6 months. Because in 6 months, he will have sunk costs. He should start seeing some return on investment. You will go to work for him. You guys will start to see an improvement. There should be additional revenue comes in. You guys will figure out whether or not you're going to work or not. What's the worst case that happens? You work for him for half a year. He had to pay you half a year. So he had to pay you for 6 months. It don't work. You can always go back to that your toxic ass relationship. They'll take you back. I don't know any P that ain't took back I don't even say that, Kevin. All right, I'm rambling at this point, guys. I know this is a strange concept. It's a strange concept, but just like living apart together is a strange concept. We have no business class. We have a lack of business class marriages, and too many women who are 27
Danger zone
and above who are marriage age who aren't doing wife things. We have to start thinking about something out of the box because you can't go back to being 18. And men are not going to just take you as you are. You have to meet the high value man's cost, because if you don't do it, sweetie, you're 33 years old and you say, I ain't gonna do all that. I ain't gonna do all that. You know what you're gonna do? Fine. I'll go get the 25-year-old girl, the 25-year-old woman who's just starting her career off. Okay. Because let me tell you something. As somebody who dated younger women, throw a $40,000 a year job at a 25-year-old, 26-year-old. She's like, wait a minute. I got to work an entire year to make $40,000 a year. You're going to pay me this and I don't have to commute. I don't have to sit in an office, deal with office politics, eat a sandwich. I get to work for you. Young 20-somethings are all over this shit. Call it what you want. I got young 20-somethings who will tell people that they got a sugar daddy and they're really an employee. They tell their friends they got a sugar daddy. So not their friends, some of their relatives, their aunts. So their aunts would think they getting over on the man. I know a young lady who told her mother and her aunts that she had a sugar daddy and she was really working for her boyfriend. When she came back home with that rock on her hand, you married your sugar daddy? He's like, no, I was working for him as his office manager. I was doing his social media, managing social media accounts, returning his phone calls, sorting his email. And I freed him up so much he made additional money and da-da-da-da-da. Y'all better, ladies, let me tell you something. Last thing, and I open the call line. You ladies better stop giving a fuck about what non-married single women think. Single women keep women single. Shout out to the attorney and the realtor. I told them, ladies, just like I told you, one of the biggest problems is single women care too much about what these career girls or these tainted women think. And I'm telling you, a lot of these women are salting y'all up. You know how many women, married women, talk shit about marriage and relationships just to keep y'all single so they can go back home to their husband and feel better about themselves? Because they're like, shit, she's pretty, but I got a husband. And they'll go, women are dirty in this regard. Women play dirty. Women keep other women single so they can feel better by extension. Ladies, help yourself. Stop caring what your single relationship, single and or relationship hating on friends say. Stop telling them about what's going on in your relationship. Stop talking shit about your man. When they ask you about your relationship and your man, close your fucking mouth. Don't open it. Don't say nothing, because I guarantee you, most of your girlfriends are around you just to feed off the negative and trauma. They want to hear you talk shit about a high value man so they can feel comfortable having a goddamn cat or a dog being by themselves. You know how many women want to hear you talk shit about? How many women, if you wouldn't say how things going between you and Keith? Oh, girl, it's great. We just came back we went down to Miami for the weekend and we did this and we did that and blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. Well, all right, girl. Whatever. Well, hey, girl, how you doing? Well, you know, me and Keith are going to go up to see my mom. Then we're going to go see his mother. Okay. Okay, girl. I'll talk to you later. What's going on? Oh, me and Keith had an argument. What? Hold on, girl. Hold on. They'll turn their TV off, go pop a bottle of wine, put on some music, sitting in the bed. Okay. Tell me what happened. Right, what?
No, the hell he did not. Baby, this is a mess.
He did what else? Girl, no, he didn't. No. Yeah, I know I have some reports that got to get out tomorrow. I'm going to court in the morning. Don't worry about it. Tell me what else. Oh, fuck that judge. That judge is easy. I'll just ask for a continue. Tell me something else. What?
No, the hell he did not. Baby, this is a mess.
I thought he was supposed to be all this high value and supposed to be this and that. You know how it is.
He wrong for that, baby.
I know. No, girl, don't worry about it. I took a nap. Your bitchy ass friends will drink a Red Bull and tell you they took a power and be taking power naps in the afternoon just to hear you talk about your relationship, and they walk away seeing like, yeah, girl. See, that's why I'm single right now, because I got a career. I got my
I'm a
career,
PhD.
and I don't really have time for a man's stuff. I'm trying to make it to assistant, uh, in charge of possible partnerships, uh, junior accounting, and that's a hell of a career path. So between me and my Shih Tzu, I don't have time for a man's shit. So I understand that you and Blake, you guys have a thing, but it's times like this, I just tell you, no. They are there for it. They are there for it, and then they you ask yourself, woman, ask yourself. They texting you in the morning, hey girl, how's it going? What's going on between you and Blake? Oh, I ain't heard from him. That nigga probably fucking his ex girlfriend. They got daily updates like they on every hour like the Weather Channel. Texting, group texting, bringing everybody in, Zoom calls, StreamYards and shit. Got their own Zoom rooms. They got their own what's that shit? Clubhouse fan base. They all just girl. And then what happens? You come back and say, "Well, girl, guess what? I was wrong. I I made a mountain out of a molehill. He really lost his phone, or he had COVID, or something happened, and he was really just working and trying to get this. Oh, I feel so stupid. I put all that time there. What? So you mean he wasn't having a homosexual relationship with a gerbil? No, he had COVID, and his phone was involved in a car accident. Well, are you sure? Because he looked like he'd have a homosexual relationship with a gerbil. Are you sure? Well, girl, I got the Apple receipt right now. It said the phone had stage 3 virus cancer. Huh. So what's up? Are we back together? Everything's cool. He accepted my apology. You apologize? Yeah, I was wrong. I wouldn't apologize to no nigga for that shit. Fuck him and that phone. He should have found a smoke signal or some shit, a way to get in contact with your ass. Whatever. Well, all right. So you're just gonna take him back? I thought you said you was leaving. I thought we had a plan. I mean, you was gonna leave him and we was gonna go into business together. We was gonna move in together. I was gonna sell wigs, you was gonna sell lashes, and she was gonna sell nails. I never said I would do that. Oh yeah, I know you mother suckers. I know how your dominating friends be trying to get you to move in and trying to get you to start businesses with them. They trying to get you to be their girlfriend, their wife. They jealous of your man. Don't tell your godfather I don't know. I know.
No, the hell he did not.
I know too well.
Baby,
I
this is
know
a
too
mess.
well. And then when they find out that you like, well, girl, yeah, he took me back and I apologize. Are we going out? Matter of fact, he's on the way over here right now. He's flying up there. Yeah, he's flying up to see me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, all I'm gonna say is, girl, be careful. He may have been wrong. You may have not been. You won't say wrong. You might not have been on the mark this time, but you need to make sure that dude don't be sleeping with homosexual gerbils. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Cause all these guys out here, girl, these high value, they think they. I'm just saying. I've heard. That. I mean, cause that's why I'm not with one right now. Cause I just couldn't. Me and my Shih Tzu can't handle this shit. So I'm just saying. Okay. They get off the phone and they mad as French toast that you back with your man, and they sitting over there. Next morning, do you get a text from her? You don't get a text from Brenda, Keisha, Belinda, Alex. You don't hear nothing from them. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing the next morning. Because they don't want to hear your success and happiness. Y'all had a good night of sex, woke up, had lunch or brunch or whatever. No, they don't want to hear none of that. The only things they want to be around is for the drama. I think, who don't know? Do I not know? But all right, ladies, that was a slight aside. If y'all want to open the call line up, let's get these. All right, guys, we got 9,000, almost 10,000 folks in here. I was gone for a couple of weeks, guys, so We got to get back into the swing of things. So what I want at least 20 folks to hit that damn super chat, and let's open it up. I want to hear from the conversation from the ladies. Ladies, are you willing to go to work part-time for your man to become a full-time, to become a wife? Well, first things first. First things first, part-time, quit fighting. Quit fighting your nature, ladies. The title of this broadcast is Quit Fighting. Quit fighting your nature. Quit fighting the men who want wives and want relationship. Like I said, what started me down this path more than anything else is I heard so many dudes, so many men who the world keeps saying these men don't want relationships. I kept seeing more men who wanted relationships than women who were ready for relationships. So I'm going to open up StreamYard. You can come in StreamYard or you can come in Zoom. As I'm doing this, I'm also going to make some announcements. As this year progresses, I'm going to be doing my remotes from LA, from Miami, and I'm going to be having conversations with women who fit into a category, business, beauty, and brains, but some of these women are not going to be on camera. One of the issues that, as we continue to have the conversation and expand, if you notice, like in Miami, when I sat down in Miami, a lot of times we get focused on the personalities and the visuals instead of the conversations. So don't be surprised when I start having conversations with people whose names and voices may sound familiar, but they may not be on camera. Why is that important? Because if somebody has a business or a brand that they need to protect, there's going to be a way to have a conversation, not with a paper bag over their head blurred out, but you're going to see conversations. Because I'm a firm believer, and women want to hear from the kind of men that they will consider following, and men want to hear from the kind of women that they will consider wifing. Other than that, what's the point? So, camera mic. Camera, snap camera, boom. There we go. Yeah, man. So you got to be able to have a multi-layered conversation, man. You got to be able to have a conversation with people about a lot of different things. Ladies, are you willing to quit your job to go work for your man? Somebody asked me how to get this done. It's called an escrow account. Put the money in escrow. Put the money in escrow and put the money in an escrow account and then schedule payments bi-weekly. The money's already set aside. It's dispersed. And honestly, let's be real, guys. If you can't manage, if as a man, if you can't manage an escrow account, how you gonna manage a household account and have a wife on a budget? See, one of the problems today, we don't talk about serious stuff. You know what we do well? We do superficial stuff. We do trips, we do dates, and we do sex. We don't talk about financial planning, family planning. We don't talk about any of the important stuff. And grown-ups have grown folk conversations. Grown conversations, so everybody know where everybody's coming from, so you don't have to question their relationships. Boom, boom, ba-dum. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 34.
All right. Let me make sure everybody can hear me. So what do you got for me on the topic? What do you think about some of the things I'm talking about? Would you be willing to quit your job to go work for your man?
Um, yes, I mean, I'm all in. I agree with many of the points that you stated. It's something that I would do if I was in the position. However, it's still some hesitation and worry there just in case it doesn't work out.
What
And so
what
like
what do you
yes,
mean?
that
What do you mean? Hesitation in what? Quitting and going to work for men, or if it didn't work out?
yes, like quitting, you know, the the career that I have, the stability, the income that I'm making to kind of venture out into something that is a bit,
What do you do for a living?
unsure. I work in luxury retail.
Okay. If you went out with a broken ankle for 6 months, could you go back to work?
Um, Coincidentally enough, um, I actually have like fractured my ankle and was out of work
So
for
so the
about
answer is so the answer is yeah, I could go back to work.
yes.
If I broke my ankle, I could go back to work in luxury retail. So if it didn't work, you could still go back to work.
It's a valid point. Valid, yes.
How are you down there at the bottom? Hello. Yeah.
Hi,
How old are
can you
you?
hear me?
Yeah, I can. How,
I'm 18.
okay, 18. All right. So what do you think about what we're talking about?
I think that I would definitely work for my husband if if it was leading towards something, but
Well,
um, it
you're
would be kind of
18.
difficult to give up a career.
Well,
Yeah.
what? First off, most people don't have careers; they have jobs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I need you ladies to have a change in mindset. 80% of divorces are filed by women. When relationships end, most of the time it's because y'all leave. So if relationships don't work, who's leaving? Statistically.
It's the woman, yeah.
Well, and that's my point. See, I was talking to this young lady the other day on Instagram, and a lot of the conversation was driven by fear of what could happen. Hold on, Eliza, I'm bring you in on the Zoom side, and it's like you. How else is it supposed to work? Is a man supposed to date you, sink a lot of cost into you, propose to you, get married, and then determine whether or not you're going to be a wife, or should you earn the title of wife?
I guess we should earn it, but it's like there's a lot of options that we have
Do
at
you?
this. Well, at my age, I have like a lot of options,
Huh.
so it's kind
Well,
of difficult for me to
well, I need you to understand something.
like.
If you watch my
Mm,
show, I need you to look at all the women who were 18 who had a lot of options, whose options are looking like nothing right now. You're as young as you're going to be, and you got the most options you're going to have around this time between now and 22. Go back and watch my content. I'm just going to tell you
Yeah, the options are different. The options are different when you hit 34.
very much. So you're 18, and at 18, it's all hope. It's all, well, I got a lot of options. Uh, is your mom married?
No, she's single.
Okay. Well, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
There you go. See, is your mom encouraging you to get married?
She does want me to find love. She always says that, but
No, no,
I
no.
think
Marriage,
that
not
she,
love.
mm,
Marriage. That's a
yeah,
difference,
that's the thing. She doesn't really talk about marriage that much,
right? So you
but
have an issue.
yeah.
Many women are being raised by women who aren't wise. So mothers are not stressing relationships; they're stressing independence and jobs. And then when you get out here, 7 years from now, you'll be 25 with a degree, a job, and a lifetime of work ahead of you because you haven't learned how to be a wife. Options don't matter if you're not being an option of a man who wants a wife. What do you think about that? What's her name? What's her name?
Anytime.
Anytime.
Yes.
Uh, so did I say anything that it was off, or do you agree?
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. We are moving more fear based, and
Hmm.
I mean, I guess if we don't try, if it'll work out, we won't know. But
Hold on, let me
yeah.
bring in Eliza real quick. Eliza, how are you? I'm well. How old are you? 21. What do you got for me? What are we talking about? Would you quit your full time job to go work part time for your man? Oh, so you're in a relationship right now. How long have you guys been together? Okay. So you've been together 2 years with your guy and y'all off and on. How old is he?
He'll be 25 at the end of March.
So my thing is one thing that you ladies have to make sure is you dealing with husbands. You don't do stuff like this for guys who are not already husbands. See, the way this can go wrong is if you as a young lady are willing to go out here and do something for a man who is not already a husband and moving like a husband, because you should not be doing this. There should be breaking up, making up. These relationships go one direction: meet, conversation, action, promotion.
Hmm.
6 months to a year. We don't do all this up and down and around the corner. Husbands, this is why I'm not the big fan of women dating of young couples, because it's hard for a young man to be in this position. Etan, what do you think about what I just said?
No, I agree. I mean, if the man isn't giving husband energy, it's gonna be harder for a woman who is a bit established at her job, making good money, to walk away from that if he's not at
Well,
all giving some
and
inkling
there's
that
no
he.
husband energy. You don't do this for a man who ain't a, you don't do this for a man who's not an employer. You don't do that for a man who's not a husband. You don't do this for a fuck boy. You do this for a man, a husband, a whatever you want to call it, where you guys can form irrevocable trust and make yourselves corporations, whatever the organization on paper looks like. It needs to be formal. Tax benefits, write offs, wills, property, names on deeds. Your name needs to be in case of an emergency contact. You don't do this for fuck folks.
Okay, okay, okay. Oh, so this is the husband, we're married,
No,
and
you're
he's
doing
like,
it for
well,
no, you're doing it for a man who is moving like a husband. There's something between the day you meet the guy and the moment you become a fiance and a husband. He already has to be. I'm assuming this man is looking for a wife.
correct.
The men that I know are stable men looking for woman relationship, and they're looking to promote a woman from over here. So when they find a woman, our instinct is to take you out of a job. Let me tell you something. High value men don't like to share. We don't like to share. We're very territorial. I don't want you going to work. I want you here.
Yeah.
I want you answering, doing stuff over here. When it's time to go somewhere, I don't want you to say, I'm tired. What the fuck? No. No, 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 no. So you work for me, then go take a fucking nap. Cause when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. And here's the thing: men understand we got to pay a price for that, just like beauty costs.
Yes. Yes.
So let me bring in what's her name, Cece. I'm trying something new, guys. I'm trying to bring in multiple streams of things at one time. Hey, CC, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, let me park because I'm rushing home from work and I have to
You
hop onto this. I'm
okay?
parking.
Well,
I'm
when you get
sorry.
ready, come
No,
back.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay. So, ladies, understand,
Okay.
men of value are territorial. They're leaders, and we don't like to share our toys. We don't want you. Here's how we think of it. When we want, like Patrice O'Neill said, we don't always want you around. We want you around, but we don't always want you there. But when we want you. Like like he said, we want you around maybe in the corner in the vent somewhere. Let's just say you in the vent. But when he go over to the vent, they're like, come on, come out of here. Hypothetically. And he has to pay for that. But if you're at work or you got other responsibilities, he has to wait in order for you to free up. That's like being with another man to us. It took me a while to understand. It feels like you with another man. It's like, well, damn. Hello, Cece. Woo! Are you on Bluetooth or something? What is that?
No, I disconnected everything, so I
Okay,
can't
so
hear
what do you
you.
got for me?
So I'm 22. I've
Okay.
dated guys around my age and past my age, and I've learned a lot. My parents are married, and everything you're saying, I can firmly agree to what you're saying about like being females should also understand that a guy can take care of you and like the income of like looking at it more of like I don't need to work my man, I can work for my man. So we can build that as
Hmm.
one.
Are you seeing anybody right now?
Yeah, but I don't wanna I'm not we're dating, but we're
Mm.
not really a boyfriend and girlfriend.
How old is he?
35, 36.
Okay. How long have you been seeing him?
A year.
Get out of this.
Oh,
If he's not a, what's the, okay. I say it, look, you're 22, he's 35, 36. You got no reason to be with
right.
somebody unless you're just having fun. But these are your prime
I
years.
understand that.
These are your prime
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Am
I'm
I
just,
rushing into something serious?
uh, do you want to get married?
Yes, I do.
Is he, did you start dating with the intention of being married?
At first, yeah, but I kind of let it be known that I'm still young. But
Okay, Eton, you know where I'm
on my
going with it.
side,
No,
all right, I'm
sweetheart.
listening.
You
Mm,
let's
okay,
just assume you are a wife.
right.
Why would you? How long do you think it should take a man who is a husband minded and want a relationship to propose?
3 months, 4 months.
Then you've been in this four times too long.
But what if they're working with my time? Because I don't want to move into something serious, and they see potential in me. That's why they're sticking around.
Why is a 36-year-old man following a 22-year-old woman?
Okay.
I don't care how you slice it.
No, no,
You ain't
no.
nobody to
I
be.
hear you.
I'm
So
just
this is
saying that you ain't anybody to be followed. So let's. I'm not ready for this. Not ready for that. Then this is the problem. We don't date with intentions, and we try to make wrong people fit. If he's looking for a wife, you're not a wife. Then he needs to dump you.
gotcha.
If you want to be a wife and he's not a husband, you don't need to date him.
Okay.
See, we get fixated on the wrong people and start trying to make people perfect. No. And a man that's 36 following a 22-year-old woman, and no, 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 that's a
Bad
bad situation.
intentions.
Well, I mean, I don't think that you. I mean, unless y'all are just strictly in it for fun. But age
Right.
gap dating, in my opinion, you should be dating age gap for a reason, because you got more to lose than he does. All right, appreciate you, ladies. See, I want you guys to
Thank
notice.
you.
Thank you, thank you.
Ooh.
I want you guys to notice how all the younger women were like, "Sure, I'm down with that," but older women What I did not hear from is women who were over 30. The oldest woman was like 24. And I told you guys, younger women are like, shit, yeah. Do you understand women who are over 30 why men who are marriage minded are jumping past you? Because men want women to move. One of the biggest problems with women today is you guys procrastinate. Fear, scarcity, and lack. You don't move like you did when you were a young girl. You were spontaneous. Yeah, let's go to Mexico for the weekend. Yeah, let's jump up and do. Now everything you old broads do requires a goddamn plan in 3 weeks' notice. French toast you. Dudes don't want to schedule. Why don't you schedule out sex on Tuesday at 9 o'clock? I can fit you. I can't do 9 o'clock, but I can get you in about 7:45. Men don't like that. Men want spontaneity. Men want affection. But what's happening? Women are like, I got limited time and I only got limited energy, so I'm trying to get you this pussy in a time frame to where I can at least be pretty sure that I'm going to be somewhat into it. So I'm trying to fuck you, sir. I really am. It's not that I'm not trying to fuck you. It's just after 9:15, I'm just exhausted. I don't know. So if you can't take this 7:45 pussy appointment, I know the sun is still out, but either you take the 7:45 pussy or you just don't. But I'm trying to give you some ass. Oh my God. Oh my God, you gotta know where I'm coming from, where this shit is real. Y'all don't know that men are like, God damn, what happened, man? I had a 7:45 pussy appointment. 7:45? You can't even get. She couldn't even wait till after magic hour. The sun went down. No, man. Y'all was fucking outside when the lights was up. When it was 93 degrees outside. Yep. It was either 7:45 or nothing. Yeah. Shit. Why do you think matinees are cheaper than nighttime movies? You professional chicks in your 7:45 pussy appointments. I swear to God, we sick of that shit. Woo! A-Free, tell them they know your godfather's talking. And I'm trying to make it light and funny because it is a serious thing. Men, the older you ladies get, the less spontaneous, the more serious. Y'all don't want to talk about nothing. Here's what it is. When you've had relationship experience as a woman, women want to get to the second year of the relationship because the second year of the relationship, there's no more dating. There's no more getting to know you lingerie. Women want to get to the comfort phase. Women don't want to have to continue to do the earning phases. And I get it. Hello, Lana, how are you? Lana, Saxy, how are you? Unmute yourself, Saxy.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good. How old are you? How old are you? And how old are you, Saxy?
I'm 30.
Okay, what do you guys think about what I'm saying?
You want to go first?
Hold on, I'm coming to you first, Lana. Saxy, I'm gonna come to you next. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. Lana, what do you think about what I'm saying? Would you quit your full-time job to work part-time for your man?
I would.
Are you married or are you single?
I'm single, dating, but single.
Okay. Do you want to get married?
I do.
All right. When was your last relationship?
I'm currently in a relationship.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, and what do you do for a living?
I'm an accountant.
Oh, perfect. 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 All right. So how long you guys been together?
We started dating in April. I definitely need to take that leap. I'm in New York. He's in Atlanta.
Hey,
Um,
I know you. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me hold on. You New York and Houston, or Houston, LA, and Chicago are ground central for pretty professional paralyzed women. I could get rich on talking about y'all alone. All you want to be wives stuck on either coast, up here and down here. Why you think?
right.
Go ahead. I can finish the rest of this story. You need to take that leap and do what? Move to him?
Yes,
Why?
absolutely.
Does he want you to be with him?
Does he want me? Yes.
Yeah. So why don't you
Yes,
come?
yes.
Why don't you come?
I'm coming.
We'll let you in.
I was a little hesitant at first, and we had this discussion because I worked in corporate. I worked for a big four accounting firm. So,
Okay.
I heard you when you said we would put in the work. I put in the work for 2 years to get that opportunity with no
Mm-hmm.
guarantee, right? I
Yeah.
got there, it wasn't for me. But then I had this, not so much the boss chick, but like the entrepreneurial. And I thought that my success was wrapped into what I could do. I met
Mm.
this amazing man who he's a visionary. He's a boss
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And he was like, we are going
I can complete your sentences because I've had the same conversation. I can't be your friend, or we either one or the other. And I'm gonna tell
right.
you something. Let this be your God induced moment. He's serious. He will leave you. We will leave you. It will hurt us, but we will leave you, and you'll regret it.
No,
Because
absolutely.
finding a man who was willing to move you down from New York to Atlanta to employ you to put all that up front, he's throwing caution to the wind. Fuck the big four. You could always go
Right.
back. If not,
Oh,
tax
I don't
season
want to go
comes
back.
around every year. You can do H&R Block taxes. You can find some shit to do in Atlanta. It ain't like you're moving
Yeah,
to
I have my own
Tuscaloosa.
practice now. So I'm
What?
super flexible.
So
But
what?
he said
So when you coming?
April.
All right.
Yeah. But I think I just wanted to add this. I think a lot of times, especially women my age, when we do kind of clutch onto our career, I think the thing is not so much the man, because I heard some other ladies, it's like if they could trust the man, or I think the
Mm-hmm.
thing is we don't really trust ourselves to make a good
Mm-hmm.
decision.
Mm-hmm.
We've had so many things where either family, especially like my grandpa, he has in the past, he's been my person, may he rest in
Mm-hmm.
peace. He said, don't go here, but go here. And I've gone against that. And
Mm-hmm.
then you come back. And I think the thing is, it's like you think it's about the man, but it's about your decisions. And like we
Mm-hmm.
don't trust ourselves to make the decision that this is going to be it. And so you kind of come in with one foot in the door and one foot out just in case. But like I said, I had went through a 2-year process to get my position. And
Dear,
after like
I am
two
trying my
years,
best to not cut you off because I have heard this story. I have lived this story. I've seen this story.
yeah,
I know it's the fear. Because here's the thing.
in our
You,
decisions.
you, it's the fear of success because you are about to win and you don't want to win and then lose it.
Hmm.
I get it. But you're
Yeah,
going to have to. You said you're coming. It's sure you're coming.
I'm coming.
Then,
Absolutely. I mean,
then
because this is it. I'm 35.
well,
My
my
birthday's
point
next
is
month.
now you have the now you're ready to start living the rest of your life. You had to put 2 years in and all that other kind of stuff. Those skills and that knowledge is transferable. Now it'll be
Absolutely.
transferred to you guys instead of the big four.
Right.
Let me give you an example. I worked in corporate America and I sold in excess of $45 million worth of stuff, right? If I had done that for myself, I'd at least kept 10%. But everything that we give to these companies, they give us a check. And once it's over, we're the ones that are connected to them. They ain't connected to us like that.
Right.
So I'm glad you're coming in April. Yeah, I'm gonna check on you
No,
because
you
I'm
were
quite because
helping.
especially in New
If it
York,
wasn't
there's a
for
In New York, there's a
What's
lot of
that?
women who are willing to tell you to backslide and stay, girl. You don't know. Are your friends
I only
supportive
talk
of
to
your
my married
decision?
girlfriends now. When
Huh?
it comes to love, I only talk to my married girlfriend.
Thank you. Thank you. See, like I said, I know New York, LA, and Chicago. I know the situation too easy. In Houston, pretty professional paralysis. You have so many beautiful professional women who want to be wives who are stuck in these places. I, People think I make this shit up, and I'm talking about you. I'm talking about women
No,
like you
absolutely.
because I see it. So I'm glad you were willing to make the decision to get into the next phase of your life. And the funny thing is, 2 years from now, you're gonna be sitting back looking, saying, "Man, I wish I'd have did it sooner."
I'm already
Saxy,
saying that.
there you go, Saxy. What do you got to add to the topic?
Well, um, hi, I'm a mother of 4 children.
Okay,
I co-parent with both my children. Well, my children's fathers. I have two.
okay.
Um, we're pretty copacetic in a sense. Try to create harmony. My biggest thing is I've agreed with many of your videos. I've watched a multitude, and I've gotten very upset with my women.
Uh huh.
Because I'm like, well, we're supposed to be our guide. It's the reason why you were created to do what you do. And it's the reason why your mindset is where it is. Because we need your point of view. If you saw things the way we did, then the world would not be balanced.
Now you say you
Um,
have 4 children.
yes, I do.
Are you married to either one of them? Are you married or were you ever married?
No, I was engaged. I was not married, not
Okay.
ever. No.
So what does the future look like after your children are out of the house?
Right now, I'm being courted by someone who's 50 years old. I'm
Hmm.
30. I
Uh-huh.
prefer someone who's more mature. Um, is more of a
No, no.
guide right now.
The question I ask you is,
What does my future look
what
like?
does life look like after your children are out of the house?
Mainly me impacting the world, giving them more of what I am, in a sense. I am a
I guess
artsy person.
what I'm trying to get you to understand is you have 4 kids, and 4 kids,
Yeah,
that's a lot to put yourself into. But once your last child is out of the house, you'll still be a relatively young woman, 40 in
true.
your 40s. What does life look like? And what never I never hear from women in your position is a relationship.
Well, that's the reason why I mentioned the guy that's
Okay.
courting me, because we
Mhm.
were talking about going into that after my youngest is of age to be able to take care of herself.
How old is
That
your
throughout the
youngest?
process, she's 3,
Sweetheart, that's 15 years.
and we have, well,
So is he
he
talking
wants
about
more than
becoming
that.
your husband?
Yes, he is.
Okay. I guess that's what I because if he's 50, by the time your youngest is out of the house, he gonna be 65.
He'll be 65.
Yeah. So my point is ultimately for all women, y'all need to be looking at life at 55 years old. What does it look like? And and
True.
55 years old and unmarried and single is not a good look for anybody. So that's all I'm just trying to get you
No.
to see if you were thinking about the conversation. I'm not trying to give you an outcome
No,
of
I'm
what you should
thinking
do.
about longevity. I want longevity. I want to
Okay.
build that. That's the reason why I'm building with him,
Okay.
more so with my character,
Mm.
building the I guess the sense of basically like setting aside my like the chip on your shoulder women normally have, that whole sense of like I
Hmm.
want to be right. That's
Hmm.
that's the issue that we fight a lot as women, especially in this society in
Hmm.
America. Um, just the
Hold
whole I gotta be
hold
right
on,
or I have
hold
the
on, just
last
a second.
laugh.
Hold on, I want to bring in Miss Mo as well. Hold on, just a second. Hello, Miss Mo. How are you?
Mr. Kevin Samuels, thank you. It is an honor and a pleasure. I am fine. How are you?
I am well. What do you got on the? What do you think about what I'm talking about tonight? You think
Well,
women should quit their job to go work? Think that women should quit their full time jobs to go work part time for their men?
I don't see a problem.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Are you married or are you single?
Okay, so this is the tricky part. I am divorced.
Okay.
I am divorced. I am presently in a relationship. I have three grown children.
Uh huh.
So
You're in a
I
relationship right now, though.
yes, I am.
Well, you've already married, divorced. Our lives are different after 45. I'll put it that way. This is a
Yes,
conversation for women really in their late 20s, early 30s to start considering. You know
yes,
what I think that
yes.
women can really do to help these younger women, to start talking positively about marriage relationships and staying in relationships for a lifetime. That's what we can really do. That's what women over 45 can really do. Talk positively about relationships to where they can start changing the
I,
conversation and start changing the mindset. And that would be a
I
biggest help for
definitely,
them. Go ahead.
I definitely, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I definitely agree with that because, I I have, gotten some feedback from the way that I feel and what I believe as far as a lot of things that you touch on and that you speak about. And
Mhm.
so, I can't agree more because and I also agree with what you said before. Yes,
So,
we
do you
have to
often agree
earn.
with me, or do you often find yourself at odds with some of the things I say?
I often agree.
Okay.
I
Well,
often agree because,
we
you
need
know,
more women. We need more women over 45 speaking to the women under 45 who agree with relationship. That's what it really
mhm.
comes down to. What just what? Oh, all right. All right. Well, that was unfortunate. That just happened. Uh, well, let's make sure this is happening too. Anyway, sorry about that, but it's almost 1 o'clock anyway. So, all right, guys. I know this was a broadcast that was kind of all over the place. I'm using. I think I have Zoom set up to where we don't have to keep worrying about the unmute yourself. Zoom and StreamYard. This concept is a concept that I expect to start conversations, but we got to talk about what's going on with relationships today. And you know, this won't work for everybody. This, and I'm not. There's not a one size fits all. This is like a buffet. We got to start expanding the conversation. There's no way in the hell we should have so many separate professionals out here. No way. So we got to start having different conversations. So I'm still getting better. Um, we, I'm still not 100%, but I wanted to make sure I did tonight's broadcast. Sorry, I was an hour late. Uh, I hopefully be back in full swing on Monday because there are a lot of things that I want to talk about going forward. But I also want to mention that the anonymity thing. Um, I'm going to start having people come onto the show that may not always be visible if they have a professional reason, a business reason not to be seen, not just a vanity reason. But there are some people who are attorneys, physicians, people who have public business and brands and don't want to see themselves online. And you can't predict what's going to happen on a live stream. And anything can happen. Emotions happen. Something gets misunderstood, misconstrued. I'm not trying to wreck a man's career or his image or his business or his brand. And I'm not trying to wreck a woman's career or business or her brand either. Um, and I think, you know, yeah, it makes for good clicks and things like that. But that's not the purpose. The purpose of this show was never to slap and clap and hang out. I mean, but understand that ain't going nowhere either. That's gonna always be part of the show. I match energy. So when necessary, the soundboard and everything is on cue. But I want to have women in front of you fellas, the kind of women that you guys can say, you know what? I can see myself. I care what I would want to. I want to put the kind of women that you would want to pick in the real world. I think that's good content for me. That's where I'm most comfortable. And if that's not what you're looking for, eat the meat, spit out the bones. Stop by when you stop by. But I guarantee you, long term, this is a great long term play, not a short term, long term. You may age out a part of the content, but you'll be back because we're going to expand this. Men over here, fashion, fitness, your finances, all these things got to get in line. We're going to be focusing a lot more on health. Well, like I said, if you can find it in old school GQ magazine, Playboy magazine, or Esquire, you'll be able to find it here. And I am not the expert on most of the things I'm going to talk about, so I'll have to bring in other people. And we're going to go forward. Go forward, and I promise you this. Men's content, men-centric content is going to be a good look for us all. But we are still in charge. It's our brand. It's us to lead our image, lead ourselves, lead our groups, our businesses, our communities, our nation, our neighborhood. It's up to us. So this is our task, gentlemen. I'm sitting here, but this is about us. And the ladies, the women who are wanting to be down with men who think like us will make themselves known. All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys. As we build back up, like I said, I've been off for a couple of weeks. We got to give ourselves time to get back into the swing of things. January is traditionally a very slow month on YouTube. Everybody's getting back into the swing of things. Join me on Instagram Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then stay tuned for some incredible announcements coming up. I don't even want to say anything about it. It's going to be a good thing. But until the next time, peace. We are gone.